What's up, sons? It's Blind Red with Son of a Tech once again, and today's topic is thanks to Dan San over on Locals at sonofatech.locals.com. We're going to be talking about crypto mining now being punishable by law, and basically up to 12 years in prison for mining cryptocurrency on your computer hardware, up to 5 years in prison for just owning anything that may be related to cryptocurrency mining, which begs quite a few different questions. And this is going into effect on April 10th, or has gone into effect on April 10th in Angola. Now, I wasn't familiar with this particular country, so I did look it up on Wikipedia, and there are strong relations between this particular country and China, as well as the European Union and the United States, due to its high concentration of petroleum. So they have the standard kind of energy capabilities that you may expect for these three countries to be in tandem with. And there is some inkling of China coming back around and basically banning cryptocurrency mining again as well. I'm not so sure I believe that. That's what this article from Cryptopolitan would have you believe. But it goes on to basically talk about a cross-border crackdown here. So it says, shift your gaze to China, and you see they've technically shut the door completely on cryptocurrency transactions. They stated that these digital assets don't stack up to real cash in legal tender terms, and dabbling in them is considered illegal financial antics. Angola's not pulling punches either. They've been rounding up several Chinese citizens since the last year, busting them for illegal mining and even for tapping into power supplies without permission. The Chinese embassy in Angola is now on a mission to make sure its citizens and businesses aren't stepping out of line, as reported by the local media outlet. They're doling out some serious advice. Stick to the law, keep your electricity use legit, and steer clear of any crypto dealings. Now, I have quite a few problems with this, as who determines what is legit and unlegit proper use of electricity? That is a ridiculous proposition to me. Electricity shouldn't be regulated for what its use is, in my humble opinion, but I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. It is also important to note here that China is basically operating in this form and fashion within the Chinese embassy and for Chinese citizens that are operating within Angola. And I think that's a clear distinction between the way the title of this article would have you believe that it's a problem in China itself, when that's not necessarily the takeaway here. They're worried about shaky ground under cryptocurrencies. Now, in this particular case, I think the Chinese embassy is concerned about their relations with Angola, not with this in particular. But they go on to say that they are volatile, lack real value, and are prone to manipulation. I agree with 2 out of the 3 of those, maybe saying that we have a lot of volatility within the cryptocurrency market, but over the long term, it does seem to be less volatile than even the stock market at this point. And I do agree to the idea that they are prone to manipulation, especially at the lower levels. We see a lot of this, especially with the releases of ASIC miners for things like Kaspa and Lithium and soon to be Radiant, where you see kind of these large companies that have a lot of capital able to manipulate smaller cap coins, and especially on the mining front, layer 1 proof of work side of things. And that's just another reason why I will always stand behind ASIC resistance, no matter how many people try to convince me that that's not important. Now, the embassy's also throwing a red flag on the flashy promises of financial innovation and quick riches, warning folks to watch out for scams dressed up as investment opportunities. Not a bad warning here. Obviously, you want to do a ton of research before investing in anything, and that includes cryptocurrencies, and probably especially cryptocurrencies, because half of them are just jokes. Oh, and keep a tight grip on your personal and banking info unless you want them misused. Now, this one's a little bit more scary, because this implies basically prosecution based off of your banking info being tied to cryptocurrency without proof that you actually did participate within cryptocurrency. So just guilty by association, or not even association, just guilty by the fact of your bank account being tied to crypto in some form or fashion, which is frankly a little scary there. And the question then becomes, right, does this end up translating into other countries? Could it eventually come into the United States? A lot of people say, you know, the United States has freedoms that separate it from the other countries, but that's been being shut down more and more often, at least on state levels, as the Second Amendment doesn't exist in this courtroom, according to a judge in New York sentencing a man here recently for having basically completely legal parts to his guns and building his own guns in his own home. So if you thought the Second Amendment in the Constitution would protect you from violation of your rights, well, I'm going to say we are quickly going down a slippery slope in the United States of that not being true at all. So is this possible within the United States? Certainly. Now, is it likely? That's another question that we have to actually deal with. And if I look at everything and take a step back, I do have to admit that cryptocurrency is a threat to the US dollar, especially as Russia spins up a bunch of Bitcoin mining farms and is a part of BRICS and not participating within the US dollar and utilizing that to bypass sanctions. I would have to say that yes, the US government would be incentivized to block cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrency mining, and investing in some form or fashion. Will it happen? I don't know. I just see the incentive there as it is now. So then my question to you guys, as cryptocurrency miners based in the United States or anywhere else, if your government tells you that it is punishable by jail time to mine cryptocurrency, will you comply or will you not? And why or why not? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday.